Hey everyone, welcome back to the VSO Gun Channel. It's great to be here as always. Thank you for tuning in. My name is Kurt Hallstrom and I'm your host as always. Today's going to be a weird one because first of all, I've got my endorphins pumping and just finished my morning run and I'm a little bit wired. But on top of that, we're going to be talking about guns, politics, and video games, which is a strange intersection for some of you. However, what brings this to the forefront is Kamala Harris's team just released a Fortnite map, a shooter video game, and then subsequently banned all weapons on the map. If that is not a microcosm of her intentions for the United States, I don't know what is. And I think that is a gross miscalculation on her part. I mean, everything that they do over there is pretty freaking cringe. Don't get me wrong. I think that she was over target, but in classic fashion, absolutely out of touch with the way that reality operates. Now, if you don't think that this is consequential, then you are dead wrong. And I'm going to explain to you why after we hear a quick word from today's sponsor. Today's video is brought to you by 1st Phorm. 1st Phorm is a pro-American, pro-freedom supplement company. You probably eat way too much crap and not enough protein. So 1st Phorm's mission is to put more protein in your face hole. Now, the thing that I've been using a whole lot lately are their meat sticks. Now, these things are a 20 gram of protein stick. It doesn't need to be refrigerated. It doesn't have any like weird whey or any stuff like that. It is made out of meat. If you check them out using my link in the link tree or on the affiliates page, and that tells them that I sent you and that helps out the channel. So special thanks to 1st Phorm for making today's video possible. If you've been following this channel for any length of time, you will have heard it come up that in a previous life, yours truly was a scientist. I was actually a chemist for 5 years out of school, classical education in biology and chemistry. And one of the things that you learn very quickly whenever you're learned in the sciences is to work with numbers, develop trends from data sets and algorize data and just formulate opinions from numbers. Work with numbers is core to any science field, unless you're talking about sociology or one of the made-up fake sciences. Why does this matter? This is about video games. Nobody plays video games. Kids play video games. All of those statements are fucking wrong. Just straight up. 80% of all gamers are adults. Now, that is a worldwide statistic, but again, whenever you're looking at numbers and working with numbers, you try to find corresponding numbers that match to see if there is a trend. 72% of Americans play video games regularly. Video games, computer games, whatever you want to conflate together. We're going to use them as identical terms here, even though PC Master Race. By my public education math, really quickly, that's almost 250 million people. How many gun owners are there in the United States? Well, we don't actually know that number because America, it's about 82 million. Best estimates based on the statistics that they're legally allowed to acquire. Again, America. Now, don't mistake me. I'm not trying to say that a constitutionally enumerated, God-given, and inalienable right anywhere ranks with the fact that a lot of people play video games. I'm just saying that it touches a lot of people, and when you mess with things, you mess with people. So to say that video games are inconsequential in adult life would be absolutely just ignoring statistics. Well, when it comes to Fortnite specifically, what do the numbers say? Yeah, 80% of Fortnite players are adults of voting age. Okay, well, how many people play Fortnite anyway? Well, I'm recording this video at 7:30 in the morning on a Thursday, and there are over 1 million people playing this game right this second. Now, granted, this is an international number. However, if you look at it during peak time in the United States last night, almost 2 million people were playing this thing at any given time. You ever seen 1 million of something? Yeah, it's a whole lot, especially when you're talking about people. And when you're talking about elections, millions of people matter. So this is why I get sort of irritated with, I'm going to call them boomer cons, who are out of touch with this sort of thing. They don't really understand the demographics when it comes to this, and they pop off and say really stupid crap about violent video games and things like that, and they try to basically deflect away from the gun issue often by blaming violent video games when really, if you were trying to get elected to something, how about we not insult people's intelligence when it comes to something that is literally 4 times bigger than the thing that you're talking about. Okay, so when you're trying to not alienate people, how about you just be smarter about your arguments instead of trying to deflect it to something that's just an easy grab because the people that you talk to on a regular basis are idiots on that particular thing. As someone who works in the gun industry and also somebody who works directly with a company that works to integrate firearms assets into popular media like movies, video games, and TV shows, those popular media sources are far more impactful with recruiting new responsible gun owners than the National Rifle Association has ever been. I know teenagers that know almost as much about firearms as I do, and I work here. I know teenagers that can identify legit assault rifles and various pieces of hardware. I had a teenager identify a Dishka the other day. My dad doesn't know what a Dishka is, and my dad was a naval aviator, for crying out loud. So, do you know what a Dishka is? Don't look, don't cheat. Tell me. A 14-year-old kid. I'm getting off on a tangent. My point is that these political hacks, they on both sides, they try to use issues to edge in some votes. And on quote unquote my side of the aisle, you've got a bunch of people that just are ignorant on the situation, and they'll say stupid crap. And by and large, I will say the ones that aren't super switched on to politics, the conservatives haven't done a very good job on this issue. They have tried to shift blame from the firearms issue to the video game issue, not realizing that that is a real loser for them. Okay, so I guess what I'm trying to say with the statistics is that our side, quote unquote, has screwed this up. For Kamala Harris to release a Fortnite map by itself is actually a really savvy thing, except for because she tried to do it in a political way and banned all weapons on it. And then also, in doing so, set it up so that it was in direct violation with terms of service, which, by the way, it is still up. I checked to see if it was still up, or at least the page for it is. I don't play Fortnite. I have my own gaming channel, and it's pretty much dedicated to Total War. The page promoting the map is still up. Because they executed it so poorly and were so out of touch with the player base, only like a couple hundred people ever played on it. And basically everybody said that it was hot garbage. Now, it being adverse to terms of service means that it is ultimately going to get pulled. But basically, it was a huge cringe fest is what I would say. So I guess the notes here is, conservatives, you're wrong on this. You need to shift and get it right. Kamala Harris and the liberals were right, but their ideology got in the way of the execution, and they saved you on one because the internet is ruthlessly dunking on them right now, basically walking into a game that's all about combat and trying to turn it into a political piece. So I guess in closing, what I will say is if you are a new voter and you are a Fortnite player and this is touching you and you're here looking for information on this, what I'm trying to tell you is that these people screw everything up. Government always gets in the way, and whenever you vote, you should always ask yourself a question. And this is how I guide all of my policy positions on anything that I ever vote on is the government involved in it? If the answer is yes, then we say, how do we reduce that? If the government is not involved in it, how do we reduce that so that they can't get involved in it? The government is never the answer, and anybody who is seeking to inject more government into your life is somebody that you should absolutely not vote for. That is all I got for you here today. Thanks for tuning into the VSO Gun Channel, and hopefully we'll see another one here pretty soon. I can't believe that it is possible that I could have landed this plane. So please sound off in the comment section down below. Let me know what you think about this, and hopefully we'll see another video here. VSO Gun Channel.